Actually, I'll do this. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I'm Whitney MøøN. All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is going to be a general message. All right, general. It's not going to resonate with everybody, but it's going to resonate with somebody, okay? Is exactly what's going on today. Let's see. I want to see what the dice say first. Okay. We got South Node with Uranus. Okay. Cancer with the 5th house. You know what I just heard? I mean, because it could play out so many different ways. But what I heard was somebody has had a secret motive. And the motive they hid in their 5th house. And their motive was entertainment. South Node. It's almost like you could have turned your back on this person. And it was one of those things like, oh, you think you can turn your back on me? And then did some type of like a spell or a hex on you just for fun? Just for... It's like just for shits and giggles. They were like, you know what? I'm just going to do this and just see what happens because they walked away from me. And it's like almost like somebody maybe wanting to cause could be unconscious reactions, seeing what you'll do, seeing if you'll come and attack them or something. You know what I mean? Mothman prophecies. First card down, but it's in reverse. And he's like, put me in reverse. Like, I know. So this is a prophecy they saw wrong. Maybe they saw... Okay, so the thing is that sometimes I swear that people will fantasize about something and then turn that fantasy into a prophecy or make it seem like their fantasy is a prophecy. Like, oh, I wonder if I picture this enough, if it really will happen. Okay, so somebody picturing something and hoping it would happen. Mothman in reverse. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I had to go tell my sister that because she has been reading the chart for the last little while, and she wanted to know what came up in the dice today. And then we have hot. Okay, that's the element. Okay, shattered, the perfect storm, and blaze one for the nation. Okay, so this perfect storm card has been coming up quite a bit to describe the analogies that karmics are trying to do to collectives. Okay, they're trying to create a catalyst of events that occur strategically, lined up in a row, so then they're hoping you will lose it. They're hoping rage comes out of you. They have seen rage before in you over something, or they mistook your ability to defend yourself as rageful or vengeful or aggressive. Okay, so they tried. Okay, Spirit said they try, okay? Just because you try doesn't mean you're going to succeed, okay? So they tried to line up a series of events as if they're Mother Nature, okay, to take 3 hurricanes, put them together. And, you know, I felt that today. I was driving, and it just, this feeling came over me like I was the Andrea Gale, okay? And trying to get out of the storm, like, you know, in the perfect storm where Billy finally, you know, admits like, okay, we got to turn around, like we're gonna die in this storm, like I made the wrong decision, I took us too far, we have to turn around now, fuck everything, our lives are more important. But then the storm doesn't let them out, and he specifically calls the storm a bitch. Okay, because that's a bitch move. You go to leave, you go to admit that you were wrong, okay, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this, I didn't mean to cross your boundary, I didn't mean to step into the storm, like people make mistakes, okay, and then they go fuck you and don't let you out. That is a fucking bitch move, because people are allowed to leave, okay, which is the Cancer energy, and that's why the North Node was in the South Node, okay? You are allowed to turn your back and walk away when the situation doesn't serve you anymore, okay? Especially sitting in 5th house, all entertainment. Like, what are you there and put in somebody's life just to be the little puppet, just to be somebody that entertains them all the time, so then they've got a mommy at home to look at, or they've got, a spouse instead of being alone. Like, they're expecting you to be something for them, so then they're not alone. Okay, so blaze one for the nation. Just because you fantasize about something, that's not a prophecy. Okay, gossiping about you. Jesus Christ. You have people on your ass. This storm, this catalyst of events lined up that they tried to prophesize, they tried to fantasize about so long until it happened to you, okay? It didn't work, or it didn't work the way that they wanted to. Look at oldies but goodies. Somebody from your past. As I look at the past, your ex, could be your ex lover, I just heard. All right, you shattered something, and now they're talking fucking pure shit about you. Look at liar. Oh my God, they're lying through their fucking teeth. These aren't prophecies that they're seeing. These are their little sick and twisted fantasies that they put into Uranus energy, and suddenly, like when people make a mountain out of a molehill, like, when they say that, like, wow, you really turned that little situation into this giant fucking problem when it was just this little, it's like the little, my mom used to get so angry if like a burn hole ever happened in her car, because she'd be like, well, fuck, it's gonna get 3 times as big because you guys are gonna play with it, and you're gonna, and we did. We made the holes in the car so much bigger by sticking our fingers in it, playing around with it and doing all this shit. She knew that the tiny little holes would become giant problems, right? And that's anybody looking at a situation and going, okay, well, like say a pipe is leaking. You think you can leave it leaking forever? No, it's going to become a problem, and that little problem is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and until somebody fixes it, until the fucking water starts coming through the walls. Okay, so somebody's visions that they are lying about, that they're trying to, it's like they're trying to just their sick and twisted fantasies, they want to make a reality. And just because it kind of seems like they might be talking shit, and if you live in a small town and you have a bunch of people talking shit about you, you're fucked, because it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. These people are going to attack you, right? Because if you don't drink, and this is what I was saying about this group of people, you know, because I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, so I don't get to go hang out with the people who smoke, and I don't get to find out the gossip. Like, you know, there was this Friends episode where Rachel starts working at, like, Ralph Lauren, and her boss and the person that she works with smoke, and they keep going out to the smoking section, and because she doesn't smoke, she's not getting the promotions, and she's not getting the inside scoop on what's happening at Ralph Lauren, so she fakes smoking so then she can become a part of the crew. And it's almost like, you know, if this was some type of group that you tried to get into and they wouldn't accept you, honestly, what I'm getting from Spirit is it's one of those things where I'm getting, like, God bless you, you know, like, you actually tried to make it work with bullies, okay, with people that, you know, they sit around and they gossip about everybody, okay, and I remember being a part of that crew. It seemed like they were the cool kids, you know, like, you want to be a part of the gossip. You want to know what's going on. Okay. But when you're on the losing spectrum of that, and people are calling you the loser and kicking you out, it's like that's a horrible feeling. It's an awful feeling to be kicked out of the group and, you know, ostracized from something when you're all the same. You know, like, we're all the same. Nobody is better than everybody. Why do people act like they are better? And then to attack you, that to me shows their character, that they know that you're a better person than they are, which is why they're choosing to attack you. Okay? Instead of just letting you walk away, okay, there's good distractions. Okay, so honestly, I feel like Spirit is distracting you quite well with the evilness that's going on from the sounds of it in the background about you. There's a lot of shit going on about you. Okay, there's fought tooth and nail. If you didn't just see it sitting on my hand, I'm not really sure why, but fought tooth and nail. Universe knows how hard you're fighting, okay, for your life, okay, to get rid of this. And, like, almost like I heard teenage angst, you know, some ex lover or boyfriend or ex-friend, you know, trying to hex you. Because, I mean, look at what we have here. Sex. 1414 I just saw on the clock. Sex. And what's so sad about it is it seems like that comes up with majority of people. Ooh, look at Jack running scared and accidents. I feel like and that's all I heard, is like you rejected somebody that maybe you slept with. Or it's a possibility that you didn't even sleep with them. Okay, but they wanted to sleep with you. Okay, this person, I feel like somebody had a hidden agenda about you. Okay, and you had this hidden agenda, had to stay hidden. Okay, it's like when my sister moved to this town because of her husband, and she was at the time best friends with a gay chick. That gay chick was trying to get her to date her. My sister's not gay, so my sister didn't really know what was going on. Call her naive if you want to, but this gay girl was really trying to get close to my sister to date her. And then my sister went to a wedding with her as a friend and met this guy who she ended up marrying. Okay, but what she didn't know was, obviously, there was a point in time at that wedding where that gay girl and her future husband were sitting there talking, and that gay girl told my sister's future husband, ex-husband, okay, she was a lesbian, and that they were dating. And instead of saying something to him, because we didn't find out about this until years later, somebody finally told my sister, hey, by the way, are you a lesbian? Because that's what I heard from your husband. Okay, it took years to clean that slate. And the fact that nobody ever had the decency to ask her, hey, by the way, are you a lesbian? Which I don't know what the original lesbian said, right? Because if people say something about you, like say they call you a lesbian or something, okay, but you know those people that talk shit about you, they say not to say anything to you, okay? Those are the ones you have to be very careful. Those are the rumors you have to be very careful about, is when people say, don't repeat that to them. Okay, well, if it's about them, why can't you repeat it to them? Because it's not true. Hence why they don't want anybody to talk to you about it. Okay, so realize human nature, okay, that what people, if people suddenly are acting weird and strange around you, it's because something's going on. It's not paranoia if it's actually happening, okay? And if it's not paranoia, okay, if they're actually talking and scheming these things behind your back and you can hear it and your body's telling you, and you can kind of feel it when you see them. Because your body will always let you know, hey, by the way, like something's not right. Hey, by the way, like sometimes it'll make you feel shit, okay, in order to subdue the conversation or something like that. You know, like your body will always give you a response to what is going on. 4th house of home and family. So this is your family. This is your roots, okay? Again, which is maybe why Cancer is here, okay? Somebody you built a home with, somebody you married, somebody you were with, okay? And then successful journey in reverse, the Fool's journey. And that's what I was a little afraid of, was the fact of, like, are they going to end up being successful with this in the long run? And no, they're not. Everything eventually everywhere dies. Nothing can stay going forever. And that's even information, okay? And people, nothing lasts forever, okay? So wherever these people are trying to take this journey with you, okay, all for entertainment purposes, especially if maybe you haven't had like sex for a while or communication like that for a while, that could be because of this person, this Uranus energy that they put on you, okay, to possibly make you look crazy or like you were the energy that people couldn't handle, you know, like, whoa, you're a lot of energy, like the fuck are you talking about, right? Like they definitely made a couple like assessments on you, okay, and because the ones obviously around them at the time didn't like you or they didn't know you, so they listened. Because you know those people, when they like act like they know something for like legit, you know, like I know this for a fact. Do you though? Do you? Because from what I know from the past, people who say they know things for a fact about somebody else were always wrong. There was something in the story that was wrong. Whether the end of the story was correct or the analogy of the story was correct, there was always something in there where I'm like, well, I heard from somebody a little bit of a different version than that. You know, well, I heard from, you know, the horse's mouth that that's not the way that it happened. And they just look at me like, I know it for a fact, though. No, you don't. Unless it's you and you went through it. Okay, people can lie. Okay, and lie, marry you, and look you straight in the face for the rest of your fucking life and never tell you the truth. Just because you're a nice person, great, awesome, doesn't mean everybody else is. Okay, so consider this successful so-called journey done. Maybe that's why it was South Node. Accidents. Like I'm telling you, accidents with the perfect storm, they were trying to line something up. And with Uranus energy I feel like it was rushed. Right? Like you can't rush to bake hey Danny, you can't rush and bake a loaf of bread. Okay, that shit's got to sit in the oven. We know this. You can't rush things. Okay, so especially witchcraft or spells or something, like you can't rush that. Like they're you can do a quick version, but then it's going to be nasty. Mars and Saturn energy with the ego. And with the ego in reverse, I'm like, damn, you checked somebody. Somebody got checked because of you. This little Mothman prophecies in reverse, whatever it is that they think that they saw, or like they thought that they could manifest because they thought that they had the gift. No, bitch, you're just possessed. Okay. Meaning, some demons just jumping in your body, using you as like a corpse to get shit done. This person is not of high rank at all. They just get heated so that other people can use their energy. Reoccurring nightmares, tossing and turning. Freddy energy. Yo, they're seeing shit in their dreams. They're getting chased around in their dreams. Like, what does Freddy do? He chases people around and he kills them. And if you die in your dreams, you die in real life. Maybe that's something too. Maybe they're like expression and expansion in reverse. House of Leo. You see what I mean? 5th house. There it is again coming out. They were really, I want to say, oh, you know what? I just heard the song Cocky by Kid Rock. It ain't bragging, motherfucker, if you back it up. So they got really cocky. As if they, it's like they found out last minute information and they were like, well, I'm a witch. I can take care of this. Yeah, well, it's in motion. Like, no, you can't. Because again, the only way that if somebody truly wants to hurt you with like witchcraft or something, the only way to do it, my sister and I were just talking about this, is a third party, which means they have to, like Fallen, jump into a third party to come and attack you, which means they want some innocent person out there to take the fall for hurting you. Who's going to do that? Who's going to take the hit? Like, oh yeah, okay, I'll go murder them for you and I'll go to jail for 10 years just because I know you want them dead, but I've never met you. No, bitch. This fucking person is crazy. Like, I mean, I've heard some doozies in the past. Look at possession. I'm not even lying if I tried. Look, it's right there. Demonic possession. If anything, demonic. Okay? Like, they're just being used. We've been talking about this. Like, all these people who think they're high and mighty that are going out and hurting people, like, that's not really you, right? And, like, you're just being used like a fucking corpse on a string. Tower moment. I mean, that's the 4th house again. Like, that movie. I'm like, look at Scam on the bottom. The movie Stardust. It's an awful movie. It's about witches and following the star, a.k.a. Claire Danes, who falls from the sky. And stars, a.k.a. Aquarius energy, have everlasting, like, immortality in their souls. And spiritual practitioners that are dirty and dark want that energy for themselves. So then they can do shit with it. Bad shit. Hence why they have to take it from something good to do it. Because if it was truly what they were supposed to be doing, they would have the energy to do it. Hence why they don't have the energy and they have to steal it, because it's not something they're supposed to be doing. Stars wouldn't use their energy to attack people, right? They use their energy to guide people. They're stars. That's what they do. They shine their lights and they help guide people, like lighthouses, right? That's what stars are. And a lot of it is Aquarian energy. Okay, so if you have Aquarian in your placement, then this is especially strong Aquarius placement, like you are an Aquarius, okay, or an air energy, then you are of anointed, hierarchy status, okay, which means you have to be here in order for all of this to run. When those little witches, aka Michelle Pfeiffers, get in their energy and want to fill their cup again, they go to the source, which is the stars. Now I'm getting the Walk of Fame. You know, like Hollywood is all stars. Star this, star that. Feed your stardom, feed your cup. Scam. Because it is. And underneath the Knight card in reverse, this isn't going anywhere. If you keep doing this, you might die. They are being blocked. They're being stopped. Seeking advice about you in reverse. They're not even getting anything on you anymore. So this all started with the Mothman prophecies in reverse. It's how it all started. Them creating a prophecy in their mind, acting like it's a vision from God, and then trying to play it out with witchcraft as quickly as possible to take the vision away from you. Like, who is this person? Why would they want to do that? Again, it's just like, these people got to find some new hobbies, okay? These people, you got to find something to do, okay? Just seems like they need something to do, okay? Maybe that's why the tower moment's here. And now I'm getting that movie, The Burbs, I think I've been meaning to watch it, but I do not like Tom. Oh my God, he's so creepy getting older. So it's really hard for me to watch him, but like I did watch Turner Hooch the other day again for the first time, and I'm like, I do like TH when he's young, because he's so funny when he throws temper tantrums. Like, he's hilarious. He's the funniest person ever, but like, he is evil. So it's really been hard to watch, but I'm pretty sure The Burbs is a house that he buys, right? And it just starts falling apart. And it's in a really weird neighborhood. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Maybe it's The Weird Neighborhood. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just a weird neighborhood. But shit starts happening. And I got Horrible Choice in my hand. In reverse. And I would imagine it would be in reverse, because when you make a horrible choice, usually you can be like, I fucked up. Like, I fucked up. I made a really, really, really bad choice. But in reverse, it makes it seem like, I don't always read my cards, obviously, but what I'm getting out of this is that they made a horrible choice and they can't admit it. They don't want to admit it because it was such a bad choice that it's humiliating. So they're going to blame that shit on somebody else. They're not going to put the gun in their hands for accidentally shooting themselves, is what I'm getting. They're going to say somebody shot them. Oh my God, this is like somebody cleaning their gun and they accidentally shoot themselves and then they go and blame it on somebody else. Go, go, go. Green light. And the peace pipe. Double green. It's like they were supposed to help you with something and they passed on your ass. Like if the duchy was going around, they just went, nah, you don't get any, and went around you, and you're like, so everybody gets some but me? Like, that's a fucking scam. Oh. Oh, exit. Look at that. Like, oh, the nerve on them. The nerve. The nerve. That's all I can hear. Bagool. Now that makes me feel like they're okay. So God's anointed, okay, are a part of, a lot of them are a part of Bagool's crew, which would be people who were manipulated and abused by their parents. Okay, Bagool is all about children and parents, and it doesn't matter. They don't have to be blood parents. They could be foster parents. They can be step parents. Okay, parent is a parent. This could even be a parent to a dog. Okay, a parent is a parent. A watchful guardian. Okay, if Bagool is here, that means that somebody clocked out early. They left. They didn't do their job because they saw the prophecy. They didn't like it. They made up one on their own out of pure entertainment. And because you were under lock and key, because they were your family, you couldn't get out of it. Again, that's exactly what I said when I was like, okay, this seems like if this was like a spouse or something, and you say you're going to leave, and then they don't let you. And we got that analogy yesterday with the Shawshank Redemption, where he's allowed to get out of jail, and the warden just doesn't tell him. Because, oh, that's what it was. That drifter comes into the prison and tells the warden that he was rooming with a guy in a prison who said that they were the ones who killed Andy's wife and that he killed the wife of some rich blah, blah, blah. And so the warden finds out and then kills the drifter. Oh my God, that's what it is. Oh my God, this is even worse. This is even worse. That means that you were falsely accused of something and put behind bars for it, as the analogy. Then some drifter came into your life and the people who held you captive told the truth to everybody about, no, you don't deserve to be behind bars, and actually they know who really did it, and they killed that person and kept you from knowing anything. I was talking to a girl today about somebody who escaped from a prison, and he went to a bar and then got caught and had to go back to jail. And we were like, well, I guess he just really wanted a drink. And then, how much would that suck? And you finally get out of jail, and then the first thing you do is go and get a beer, and then you get locked up again. Like, this is that. But you didn't do you didn't do the criminal activity to begin with, though. Wow. And there has been like a few jail analogies happening. Oh my God, there's the lighthouse on the bottom of the deck. Coast Guard. Okay, with caution, in reverse, the werewolf and the tornado, twist of events. So this would have been part of their little scam, okay? Part of one of their storms that was supposed to be a part of another storm to get added to another storm to get you to give up. And as soon as you go to turn around, they don't let you out. But you admit then you don't want to be there anymore. So it's like, who would hold somebody in a place knowing that they don't want to be there? Again, that's so authority, parental, you know, like your parents making you do things and making you go places and never listening to you, always just telling you what you have to do, but never being like, hey, by the way, it's your choice, because you get to have a choice. Just because you're a child, it doesn't mean that you don't get the right to say yes or no about what's being shoved in your mouth, or if you don't want something, or if you don't like something, right? Because that was so much as a child. Like if I didn't like something, you know, like that means I don't like it. I don't want it in my mouth. I don't want to swallow it. My parents would force me to eat it anyways, to the point of like throwing up. You know, I would throw up in the bathroom, like, you know, because they would say I was lying, and like, how dare you not like Cindy, which was my stepmother's, cooking, even though her cooking was horrendous. It was awful. It was all her fucking geriatric poor mother's Campbell soup recipes for everything, and it was disgusting. It's not the way my mother cooked. It's not the way my father cooked, and it was gross, and I hated it. And yet I wasn't allowed to hate it, because that means that I didn't like Cindy. What does that have to do with the person? I'm sorry. I made my sister dinner the other night, and she, very rarely does she not like what I make, but I heated something up from somewhere else that we bought these, like, something, and I heated it up, and she didn't like it, and I was like, something wanted me to take offense to it, and I was like, how dare you? I heated it up. Why would I take offense if she doesn't like it? She can fucking throw it on the driveway for all I care. I'm not all heartfelt about it. And even if I was, if she didn't like something I made, for the most part, because we have basically almost the same palate, I'd be like, okay, well, how can I make it better? Because if she doesn't like it, that means mostly I don't really like it. And I'm not going to put my pride up and be like, yeah, but I made it, therefore you must like it. Like, who the fuck does that to somebody? Like, really? You can't, your pride, your fucking giant ass pride can't take a child not liking your pork chops or your disgusting mushroom sauce. You have to force them because you're the parent, you know what's best. I'm pretty sure that child who says they don't like it knows what's best in their mouth. But again, heaven forbid you don't like something because you might hurt daddy's feelings. I'm sorry, but like, again, is this kindergarten? Like, your feelings are going to get hurt because somebody doesn't like something? Like, grow up. Honestly. Okay, so panic, anxiety. See, the thing is that with the werewolf, it's all about timing. Okay, and you have to get bit by the animal in order for it to get into your blood. Okay? They are expecting to do witchcraft so then somebody else does the dirty work. Like, how even more pathetic is that? Like, really, you want this beautiful garden, but heaven forbid you get a single piece of fucking dirt under your nail. You're going to make everybody else do it for you, but yet claim that you did it because you paid for it? No. Okay. So they were expecting to change the course of some type of event that was about to happen or is about to happen. They might find out that you have concert tickets or a plane booked or a new job starting. They want to pop your tire, shut your vehicle down, burn your house down. Okay, now I'm getting Bagul, like all the different ways that those kids killed their parents. Like, there are so many things I feel like this person has fantasized. And now I'm getting 7. And you know, the lust part where he makes the guy put the strap-on dildo on that has the knife and fuck the prostitute, right? And puts a gun in his mouth and says, you either fuck her or you die. Okay, like it's like that part, but you're the dude that's supposed to do it, like with a gun in your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, how can you get charged with a crime with a fucking gun in your mouth being told to do it? That's this like acting, and now they're going to be like, well, you really wanted to do it. No, you didn't. Did you see that man's reaction? He was shaking. He was having an anxiety attack. He threw up. Like, oh yeah, he really wanted to do that, right? Because apparently, if you like strippers, you deserve to kill them with a knife dildo. Like, I mean, it's so, again, like Kevin Spacey, you know, like John Doe, he just chooses a bunch of people and decides to do what he wants to do with them as if he's God. John Doe is not God. Okay, Jane Doe is not God. Okay, fucking Bagul isn't God. Doesn't fucking act like he is. Okay, so somebody trying to start this catalyst of events that would, I heard, scar you, okay, most likely imprison you, okay, scam you so you lost a lot of money, okay, all for the simple fact of pleasure for their fifth house. I'm sorry, back in the day when we needed pleasure, we just went and got laid. We did not do this. But man, have times changed. Wow. Here we go. Okay, Fox Mulder, he came out today. And you know what, Fox? The awesome thing about the X-Files, obviously, they had to make Fox the way that he is because Scully has to be the way that she is. Scully has to be the science, the facts, the concrete evidence. When you're dealing with somebody that is literally, you know, is in 3D, okay, needs to see things in order to put it together, the best person for them would be somebody who's not literal, somebody who's intellectual, because the literal meets the intellectual, boom, perfect partnership. Because the almost like analytical, you know, anything could happen and this could be a possibility and this could be a possibility, you know, the way that scientists are made, okay, literally, the way that Scully was made, because the reason why science is created was to push the elements, to push things beyond and to experiment on things, right? And knowing if we put this together with this together, what's going to happen? Instead of just analyzing it, they're doing it, okay? But the analyzer needs a doer. Because an analyzer usually gets stuck analyzing where a doer is always doing and not really analyzing. They're analyzing as they're going. Okay, so there's Marlo. Uh-oh. No. Marlo. Oh my God. You know how Marlo died? He was run over by the guy who was told that my sister was a lesbian. Okay, loser, goes around town telling everybody like he changed to lesbian. Pretty sure his dick doesn't even work. But anyways, look at this. No crash. What do we have here? Accidents. Okay, they were really fucking hoping that all this shit would put you into an accident. They really did. And we got dreams again. And I mean, okay, your dreams, put it this way, if you have a dream where somebody tries to kill you, like a really long time ago, like my sister's husband wanted, I think he tried to kill me a couple of times. And one of the times where he tried to kill me, we were in the dream state. This is when I lived out west. And you know the mountains out there, right? I have driven out west a couple of times. So it's not like I know the mountain ranges, but I've driven the mountains a few times. So it's not like my first rodeo. Okay, so I used to have a convertible back in that I actually had to leave out there because it got ruined. We were in that car. We were in my convertible. And my sister's ex-husband was there. And it was the dead of night. If you know the mountains, there aren't any lights. Okay, like it is pitch fucking black. It is blacker than the blackest thing possible. It's terrifying in the mountains at night, okay? And you know what he made me do? So we get into my car, and he starts the car, and there were no running lights. Weren't allowed to have running lights. And he smashed the lights, wouldn't let me turn on. Like, so he smashed the running lights because they go on automatically, right? So he smashed the running lights and then wouldn't let me turn the actual lights on the car, and made me drive through the mountains in the pitch black. And when I woke up from the dream, all I can remember saying to myself was, well, thank God I've driven the mountains before, because I mean, he's an idiot to think that I didn't know where I was going. And I went, what the fuck? Because, like, you know, sometimes, like, if your dreams are, like, big, okay, you wake up really confused, and you're most likely still acting the dream out, right? So you go, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm here. Like, you ever had those dreams where you wake up and you're like, oh, my God, I'm at my house. Like, where the fuck was I? It's literally because somebody sucked you in to one of the 13 dimensions we have, okay, and got you to drive around the Andrea Gale in a fucking storm and not capsize. Okay, got you to drive around in the mountains in the pitch black. Like, they got you to do something. And if it happens in your dreams, you know it's true. Because that's the thing, your dreams don't lie to you. Although it's hard to analyze what the dream means, because it's never exactly what it is in 3D, it can't be, but it at least helps with people going, you know, those deja vu moments. You have deja vu moments because those are dreams that you've had where something's already happened, you've already played it out. So why is it being played out right in front of you? Because your Mothman prophecy mind, okay, actually sees the future. And the reason why spirit knows you see the future is because you question it. It's not just, well, I saw myself as a millionaire. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And if you did, how did you get there? Why is it just, well, that's how I saw myself. Anybody can say that. Oh, I saw myself as a millionaire too. But where's the trail that you got there? It's not just going to appear in your life. Okay, this isn't Lotto 649 for everybody. Okay, it's a scam. Again, that's all I'm looking at. Scam. Okay, I literally watched somebody buy like a stack of those Lotto cards. Okay, literally a stack. He must have had over 100. I think he had 3 cards that won out of that giant stack. And they were all under $5. They were just free tickets. Okay, lottery tickets aren't out there to make people rich. They're out there to get you to spend your money to think you're going to get rich. Okay, I haven't bought a lottery ticket. I don't even think my whole life. And you know who used to always buy me lottery tickets, especially for my birthday? My grandparents. And then my parents started doing it, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're not going to win the lottery. If you're going to give me $20, give me $20. Stop putting it into lottery tickets that I scratch every year and don't get anything from. And it pisses me off because I would have really liked that $20 for a pack of smokes. Or for a fucking dime of weed, okay? Like, but you're spending it on something thinking I'm going to get rich because it's a get-rich scheme like everything else is. Okay, so it's almost like maybe they've been putting your money into something, acting like one day it's going to pay out, and they know for a fact it's not going to. When you're like, well, you could have given me my money on my own, and I could have put it into something that actually would have done something, not some fucking, you know, wish fulfillment that somebody wishes I'd become a millionaire to get off their back. Woo! That just took the life out of me. Oh my God, I'm starting to sweat. Woo! The good times are killing me. Oh my God. I got that song yesterday. Fire it up. Someone needs to listen to Modest Mouse. Oh my God. Modest Mouse makes me so happy. Although I really only know like 2 albums. And that's it. I need to branch out of my Modest Mouse because they really make me happy. Okay. Oh my God, I'm having a sweat attack right now. Woo. How's it going tonight, Danny? What do you mean, maybe? You're so cryptic sometimes, Danny. I have no idea what you're talking about. You know, I always end up watching the chat later and seeing random things that you write. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have caught that, but like I can't read both. I'm too dyslexic. I must do one thing or the other. But I always read your comments, Danny, and I think you're hilarious. Although most people have no idea what you're talking about. Just like me sometimes. Signs. Shit's happening. You would say that. Oh my God, what is that? Okay. Oh, I'm so hot. Oh, I'm going to smoke a little kefir reefer. Give me a second, okay? I had a long-ass day today. Woo! Very stressful day. Well, stressful part of my day. All right, let's do the magical box. I haven't done this box in a while. I'm thinking about it. The other night, like, man, I haven't done a box reading. So, let's see what the old box says. Fate is the first one down. Fate. That's all it says. Second card. Ooh. The spell card, manifestations. Are you manifesting your fate? Ace of Cups. What? It's more than just a set of wheels. The ace symbolizes a new cycle, whether it's the freedom found hitting the road in a burgundy BMW or riding your bike to the park. You're finding yourself elated for the journey. If this card appears when you have met somebody with a significant and intoxicating... When this card appears, you have met somebody just as significant and intoxicating, and even though you logically know it may not work out, your heart is open to the experience. Enjoy it. What? What is happening? Oh my God, you even think it's not going to happen, but you're like, whatever, fuck it. There's justice. Justice is not here to mess around. Justice has had enough and arrived to take her due. She may be blind, but she is not unarmed. Oh. You're not even going to let anybody take it from you. That's PIMP. Okay. That's a little pimp. Okay. You're like, fuck you. I'm manifesting this fate and you're not going to take it from me, bitch. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The events in the world are not doing much either to cheer one up. All right. Maybe you do want to look closely at how the sausage is made. If you make a steady diet of a food, brain-stunning, awful aspects of life around us through the news, social interactions, interpersonal conflicts, you're sure to find that what you're feeding yourself is actually all-consuming. Don't eat it up. You are what you eat. Focus on sustainable options. Okay, so I feel like your fate is coming. Something that you've been manifesting is coming. Okay. Now, the way that I see this is if it's something you're manifesting, then do your fucking research. Okay. Like if it was something you're manifesting, like opening up a business, okay, make sure. Oh, I think I got you. I don't think I did though. That you speak to the right people and know what you have to do before you get the business, right? Because you don't want to go and rent a space, and then you go to open and suddenly the city comes by and is like, you need an inspection. You need this and this. You need a proper door. You need and you're just like, I thought I could just open up a business. Like now I'm getting Michael Scott, when he starts the Michael Scott paper company and he just starts doing it out of his house. Well, it's illegal. He gets shut down his first day. Okay. So that's what I'm getting. It's like, okay, so definitely you're manifesting something, but it's not like it can just poof appear. You have to make sure that you're doing it smart, which means you're going to want to look to see how everything's done first before you decide. Because, if you're wanting to open up a business to do something, like I talked to this one guy who had a chocolate factory business. He is a chocolatier, adorable, by the way. And he had a business and he still does it, but now he does it from home. He didn't like the business part of it at all. And, that really sucks because when you think about it, like say, okay, a chocolate business, you think like, okay, so, yes, there has to be an inspection and the health board has to be, everything has to be sterile and all that shit. Okay. But it's also like those kind of things happen all the time and you have to be. I think that was a gunshot. I'm going to close my window. Jesus. I just made a wish today. Like, I just want to get out of the ghetto, okay? I just don't want to hear gunshots. I had a gunshot so loud last night outside my window. It woke me the fuck up. Did you hear that? And I went running to the window because, like, you're not supposed to look out the window with a gunshot. But I'm like, I want to know what the fuck is going on because, like, my neighbor has been attacked so many times. I thought one day she was going to die. Oh, my God. Again, like, you may want to check the neighborhood, okay? Like, it might be cheap lease or cheap rent for a reason, okay? Oh, it's just a small gun. Like, I know I'm getting to know my gunshots now. That was obviously just some type of small gun. Almost sounded like maybe I don't know, maybe like a 22 or something like that. But like, Jesus Christ, like right outside my fucking window. And I just don't want my car to get any bullet holes in it. I really don't want any bullet holes to come through here, but I'm on the second floor. So good luck hitting me, bitch. I watched this video where these two men, they got caught on their ring cam walking home. They heard gunshots in the background. Obviously it was like hunting season. And they were like, you missed. Ha ha ha. I was like, get your ass inside. You missed. Fuck. Look at, there's the sun. You know, like, do your fucking research. Like, when I got this apartment, the thing is I was in another province and he didn't put any pictures up, and he had a realtor, riddle me that, okay, showing the place. So I was like, okay, well, it's got to be pretty decent. I get here, it's a crack house. I'm like, and Google Maps makes it look so pretty, makes my house look so pretty. And I'm like, what was I taking 10 years ago? Doesn't look like that anymore. Okay, so like maybe that's another thing. You know, if you're looking at something like a property or something like that, don't go by Google, because yes, Google Maps is relatively new, but majority is old. Okay, so like that picture of my house, I don't know, it's either that or it was a really nice day, but that's not what it looks like. Okay, that is not what it looks like. I got this apartment on total bullshit with. Like, I honestly, I had no idea what I was pulling up to. I was like, this is not the house that I saw. This is not what I ordered. You know what? I'm stuck here. Like, there's nowhere to fucking go. I can't move. Okay, so it's like, be careful, because you don't want to get stuck in somewhere. You sign a contract and then you're like, you notice roaches everywhere, because like you're not going to see roaches during the day. No. And especially if the place is clean. That happened in a few apartment buildings, right? We get in, the apartment was so-called vacant for like a couple months or something like that. This was all in Calgary. And then give us like a month or so, and then there's the fucking roaches just appear out of nowhere, because they only really come out at night. And if the apartment looks nice, then yeah, no one's been there. There's no food. There's not going to be any roaches. As soon as you bring the food in, there they all come, right? Through the heating system. You can't even block them off if you fucking try. They go through the doors. They're through the walls. They go under shit. Like, I mean, it's insane, right? And that's, I'm getting 7 again. Man, this movie has been coming up as an analogy, but you know, when he gets his apartment and then they go over and it's the shaking apartment because the fucking, the rail is going through, like, you know, that's a nightmare just to even think about again. Like, at least I know what's already here. It's not a shock anymore. Okay, the shocks of Lawn wore off like a year ago. Okay, and then Candyman. Candyman came out today. By the way, someone was wearing a Candyman shirt. I'm pretty sure it was Candyman. I didn't really get a good look at it, but I was like, that's terrifying. The truth of the matter does not depend on our belief in it or whether we take it seriously. Some of the harshest outcomes in a situation may come from those who approach it dismissively. It can be tempting to keep a cognitive distance, especially from horrible circumstances, but we may also do it at our own peril. Okay, so it's like, okay, if you need the cheap rent, then just know it's going to come with a shitty landlord or building inspector. It's probably going to come with maybe some rats or some vermin or some roaches. But if you can handle that, then it's a fucking walk in the park. Okay, it just depends on where somebody's expectations are. Like, because let me tell you, before I lived alone and, you know, totally erased myself from my family and emancipated myself, I didn't even know roaches existed. I thought it was like, and like, they're not the ones on TV. They're these little tiny fucking things, and they multiply like a fucking disease. And like, I've never seen anything like it. It's like worse than having ants. Okay, like I don't understand. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a myth. I thought people made this kind of shit up. I thought it was something you saw in movies. No. Okay, no. But at the same time, it's like, I have been in places worse. Okay, but I never knew a world like this existed. So now that I've been put in the pit, literally seen it all, been around it all, okay, nothing really surprises me anymore. But when you go from the $500,000, I mean, my parents' house sold for like $800,000. When you go from, you know, a 4-story house and your own bedroom and all this shit, all of a sudden to a fucking apartment that looks nice when you first move in and then suddenly turns into a nightmare, it's like you cry because you have no idea that that world existed, let alone that you'd be suddenly in it. But it's to teach you something. Okay? And I always hear, when I see a roach, I swear to God, there's this one terminology song where he was talking about growing up with his deadbeat mom and having to flick roaches off his face. And I had a roach one night crawl across my fucking forehead, and I jumped out of bed. This was a few years ago. I jumped out of bed and I immediately, like, I mean, I knew we had roaches, but like, I was actually living in bed bugs. And I did not know what those were. We must have had them for months, and I had no idea what they looked like, what they were. I mean, I would wake up with bumps, but I didn't know what they were. I had no idea. I'd wake up with sharp pains all night, but like, I have scoliosis. I got sharp pains all day. I don't fucking know. I didn't know it was bugs. I ran out of that apartment terrified. I went straight to my fucking landlady. I was like, you need to get the inspection in here tomorrow. Like, what the fuck? I'm infested. I didn't want to go back. I slept in the car. Then we got fucking bed bugs in the car. Oh my God. It took a freezing winter to get them out of the car. Okay. And we had to basically burn everything that we owned and start anew. I couldn't believe it. I never knew a word like that existed. We had to burn everything we owned. We couldn't take our shit. We lost TVs, VCRs, DVDs. They were in our DVDs. We had to leave all the cases because they had made swarms in our DVD cases, like all from apartment buildings. And I'm like, aren't they supposed to tell you about that? Like, aren't they supposed to warn you? But no, they don't have to. If it's been sprayed legally, they don't have to tell you shit. Okay. So I don't know if this is going to be like an apartment. I honestly, I told myself I would never live in an apartment building again. I don't trust them. I don't trust people. If I'm going to live anywhere, it's going to be in a house. And at least in this house, we got roaches, but that's it. Okay. We're pretty lucky when it comes to the shit that I've lived with in buildings. And I mean, what's worse than having to burn all your shit other than having it lost? I mean, we burned our shit basically voluntarily. The only thing that's worse is having it all burnt non-voluntarily. Okay, so imagine setting your shit up and not finding out for months, right, what a problem is, because if you're not there at night, right, I wasn't there all the time, I worked a lot, right? If you're not there, how the fuck do you know what's in the walls? How the fuck, and some of these buildings are so old, right? Some of these houses are so old. There's literally things living in the walls. They're so old. Okay, so like, be careful. Oh my God, I was holding that card for so long, and look how creepy that is. Look at those eyes. Those eyes. Whoa, those were just staring at me. Okay, and like, think of that as a vermin or roaches just staring at you in the walls. Okay, so I don't know, maybe like especially if you're gonna buy a house too, like get your inspections done. Okay, get your inspections done. Doesn't matter how much they fucking cost. Throw that shit out the window, because getting an inspection and losing a couple $100 by finding something is a lot worse than moving in, getting no inspection, and then finding out later. Okay, because like, I mean, having to burn all your shit and everything you own is not going to be worth it for like a cheap deal or a score, right? Like, why is it a score? Okay, ask yourself that. Oh my God, there's HEX. HEX comes as a warning sign. Be wary of unwanted energies that have been directed your way. Whether you have felt drained of late or have experienced a prickly feeling, you can be sure that when HEX turns up, you have some vital banishing to do. Be sure to check in with your feelings so that you determine what or who is sucking the life force out of you or directing energy towards you. Do not be fearful. Instead, be strong and turn any negativity into a positive personal power. This is the time for you to take a stand and say no more. Look more deeply into situations and don't take so much on face value. Tread carefully and watch for enemies who lurk in the shadows. Your discernment right now gives you a second sight, so trust your instincts and go for the kill. HEX urges you to release, get rid of, and banish anything that prevents you from walking your true path. You are protected when you heed this omen. Ignore it at your apparel. And honestly, when it said HEX urges you to release, get rid of, and banish anything that prevents you from walking your truth path, I literally had to burn everything to banish all those entities, all those bugs, whatever somebody sent me. I don't know what it was, but I literally had to burn it all in order to get rid of it. And that's literally sometimes what you have to do. Okay, I'm not saying set yourself on fire or your house on fire, no, but it's like if there is unwanted energy around you, it's almost like time to, it's almost like somebody needs to check in with themselves on a normal basis, so then they realize if somebody else is affecting your energy. Because if you know your energy, then you'll know if somebody's fucking with it. Okay, and then if you know somebody's fucking with it, you can do something about it. If you don't know your energy, then how are you supposed to know when somebody takes it over, right? See, I know, right? It's so creepy. Like, I want to move from here so bad, but then I'm like, well, fuck. At least I know what's hiding from me. At least I know the landlord's a scumbag. At least I know what to expect here. If I move and it looks nicer, what if it's worse? Like, it's such a mind fuck. Like, once you get fucked over in any situation, it's hard for you to make a move towards that situation again, because you're like, well, fuck, why not just live in the abuse you're in? Because at least you know what that is. And it's not going to be fresh abuse when you get somewhere else. So it's really like, I can see how the karmics want to fuck with collective, because collective has been through so much and so much PTSD that it's hard for them to distinguish what's true and what's false. Okay. And this might come up as a lucky 777 I just saw, but it's the worst deal possible. But because you could be a little bit desperate for something, they know to pull that desperation string, so then you don't get it. Right? Like, that's the thing. It's hard. Like, it's such a fucking mind fuck, right? Because it's like it's almost as if driving a car, and then suddenly, your transmission blows out on you and you get into this horrible accident. And it's like, how am I supposed to drive again? How am I supposed to trust a car again? How am I supposed to get into the car? But then once you realize, like, there was probably signs that the car was trying to tell you it was about to explode, but you had your music cranked, right? Like, I find it very ironic that the CD player has gone in the car that I drive recently. All of a sudden that just gave out, and it's a really good system in that car. And I went, you know what? I bet you that could be for some reason, because we're always used to cranking it, and we're not gonna be able to hear anything. If anything happens to that car, I'm not gonna be able to hear it if I've got the stereo cranked. And I was driving somewhere today, and then I was on my way home, and I had a long drive, and I had a fucking migraine, like an aura of a migraine for 2.5 hours as I was driving. Actually, I made it home in about 2 hours. And then as soon as I got home, I was fine. And I thought to myself, oh my God, there was something happening to my body so that I would just stop, right? Because when I have an aura, and I know I'm about to get a migraine, I can usually, I know actually how to stop my migraines from happening now, because I know what an aura is, right? Once you start to know things about yourself, that's like the best, because you can read yourself in any situation. It doesn't matter if other people can read you. It's not about that. It's about you reading you. If other people can read you and you can't read you, there's something wrong, because they're most likely reading you wrong, or they're picking up on things that you can't even pick up on. right? Suspicion. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, the sun is here. Scream. Turn your ringer off. You know, I turned my ringer off yesterday, and I don't know, for like, I don't even know why I did it, but I put my phone on airplane mode randomly in the middle of the day yesterday, and somebody called and left me a voicemail. And it was the most wretched, disgusting, vile voicemail I'd ever heard in my life. And I was like, thank God I put my phone on airplane mode, because clearly I didn't deserve that. I listened to the voicemail. I couldn't even touch my phone. I had to call this person back. I had to put it on speakerphone and hold on to a crystal because their energy was so disgusting. If I even held the phone, I would have touched it, because that's how toxic people are. Right? Like I'm getting this. Like I was just doing like, you know, the Spider-Man thing. It's almost like they shoot their little fucking webs out, and they pull people in with their drama and their nastiness. And like any boss that you work for, if you've ever worked for a boss and they want you to fear them, there is something wrong with that person. There is no boss out there that should ever want their employees to fear them. Fear is a coward, okay? Fear, you put fear out there because you're scared of what people are going to do. So you try to nip it in the butt before anybody can come toe-to-toe with you, question you on something. Anybody that automatically wants to put the energy out that they can't be questioned about their motives or what they're doing, they're breaking the law. They're cowards, and they're little bitches, okay? So I feel like, honestly, what this could be is it also could be something like, if you're looking for a place or, you know, a new workspace or something like that, you could apply for a place and then miss the call when they call you back. Okay. And this person is so impatient that because you didn't answer the phone, they're going to call the next person and give your spot to the next person because you didn't pick up. And it's like, well, I didn't pick up for a reason. If you miss a phone call, it's for a reason. I really feel like it is. Because there's just some, I mean, if there isn't, it isn't. You know, it's one of those things. It's the algorithm. Some you're supposed to answer and some you're not. And some you just know you don't deserve to. So you just put your phone on airplane or silent for that 5 minutes you're doing something. I swear it was like, I don't even know what I was doing, but it could have even been when I was like sitting down and eating lunch or something. And I just had that kind of premonition, like, dude, just turn your phone off. Like, you don't need to be interrupted. And that's what it was. I just didn't want to be interrupted at that time. And I was like, well, anybody needs to call me, you can fucking leave a message. Like, nobody needs to get a hold of me right now. And they called in that little teeny tiny fucking window that I closed. And it was really weird. Okay. So again, when we miss things, miss the boat, again, a great Modest Mouse song. It's always about Gary getting drunk and not being able to find his way to the bus, to the concert. It's so funny how much Gary gets drunk. If you start listening to Modest Mouse, you'll get to know Gary. He is a funny bastard. Okay. So honestly, it's so weird because I don't normally put my phone ever on airplane mode. But I did it for a reason. And like, again, try not to think that you've lost an opportunity because, again, you missed the bus. Like, there's always another bus, always another opportunity. And sometimes we might think an opportunity is for us because we want it, but it doesn't mean it is. And maybe we should wait for the next. Okay. So I'm literally looking at Halloween right now, Boogeyman. There's no such thing. You know how they say, like, the Boogeyman doesn't exist? The Boogeyman doesn't exist? Yeah, he fucking does. Okay? Is something bearing down on you? some inexplicable, seemingly unstoppable problem, and you're struggling to understand why. Sometimes our behavior shapes our circumstances. Other times, the shape just comes to us, a menace popping out of the shadows again and again, just when we think the coast is clear. Confront the situation head on. Okay, so I'm going to read the next. I'm going to see what this next one. Oh my God, there's so many of these cards. Look at Celebration Carrie. Okay, so confront the situation head on. Honestly, if you do get in a shitty situation, the thing that I learned was my landlord is such an asshole that I have to talk to him like an asshole. I can't be like, oh, how's your day? Are you a good guy? Are you being good today? I have to be like, fuck you. I don't care about rent. You fucking should have fixed this. You should have fixed that. Fucking shovel the driveway. Like, I have to talk to him like an asshole. And then he just goes, yeah, fuck you. And it's just like, yeah, well, fuck you too, you know, but yeah, I'll still have rent on the first, you know, have a good day. Yeah, fuck you too. You know, I have to talk to him like an asshole because I learned if I talk to him like a nice person, he doesn't fix things. My oven was broken for like 3 months. Suddenly, I refused to give him rent. I had him at the fucking front door. He called and said he wanted rent. And I said, no, I'm not giving you any fucking money until you fix my goddamn oven. Tell me how suddenly the piece of the oven was just in his hand. Just all of a sudden in his hand. Well, where the fuck has that been for 90 days? Like, I told you it was broken. You lied, and then you lied again, and then I caught you in a lie. You fucking know I caught you in a lie, and then all of a sudden I say I'm not going to give you your fucking rent, and now all of a sudden the piece just appears like a fart, just to hit me in the face. Like, fuck you. You're an asshole. You had this the whole time. You just didn't want to fix it. Okay? So it's like, you definitely, I mean, especially if you're a chick dealing with dudes, I know you don't want to, but you may have to stuff your pants. You know what I mean? Hypothetically speaking. Okay? Because they see you as a woman and they're going to be like, ha, she can be manipulated. I can tell her what to do. She's going to be stupid. She's dumb. I mean, you know how my landlord calls me dumb to people right in front of me. Oh, yeah, she's an idiot. Oh, yeah, I know she's cuckoo. Because, I mean, I've threatened to kill him a couple times. And it was justified. And I went at him with a shovel once. Oh my God, I was so mad at him. He put our lives in danger so bad this one winter. And I came at him with a shovel. And my sister didn't know what to do. So she just blocked the driveway. Oh my God. Of course, I didn't do anything to him. I don't hit people. I don't attack people. I don't do anything. But I defend myself. And people are going to say you're an asshole and you did something to them because you defended yourself and all this shit. And, you know, the only reason why they say that being defensive is an act against them is because they're attacking you and they want to. They don't want to let you know, hey, by the way, I'm boxing you right now, and there's a pair of gloves over there, but nobody wants to give them to you, so you can just fight with your bare hands. Like, you think they're going to give you the notes on the things left for you? No. Because they always want it to be unfair. That's what I've noticed with karmics. No matter what situation, they always want it to be unfair. They always want them to be on the upper hand and you to be on the lower hand, no matter what. It doesn't matter if the last game you were on the lower hand. They're still going to take the upper hand no matter what. And they're going to bitch about it. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. You need to do it. You always do it. And now you become the bottom of the shit list, the bottom of the totem pole, right? And it's like, I've been on the bottom of the totem pole for 10 fucking years. Like, just because it's here, it doesn't change that it's been this situation every single time. It's just, this is a different place, right? You need to stand your fucking ground because it doesn't matter if you're on the bottom of the totem pole or at the bottom of the shit list. You're still on the list. You're still on the pole. You deserve respect. Okay? Anybody that tells you you don't deserve respect is trying to bully you. Clearly. And Spirit likes to talk about bullies a lot because bullies have been something that, like, my stepmother's a bully. Okay, my stepfather is a bully. My father is a bully. My Oma is a bully. My aunt, her sister, is a bully. My other aunt, which is my mom's sister, is a bully. Like, just women, you know, calling it empowerment. How is it empowerment when you step into your feminine energy and start attacking people? That's not being feminine. That's not being motherly. That's just being a fucking cold-hearted bitch. Okay? And there's a difference between a cold-hearted bitch and a woman who's trying to do something for the greater good. Okay? So, I mean, hold your ground. Don't let anybody walk all over you because something's manifesting and they want it, and it's fate. It's fate. It's in the stars. It's for you. Okay? But it's going to come with weird things. Okay? And it's going to come with maybe things, you know, like, think about it this way. Anybody that tries to start a business, okay, and say even like I just got veterinarian or something, okay? Like, yeah, you see those beautiful $1 million estates turned into veterinarian hospitals and blah, blah, blah. You can also start a fucking hospital in your garage or in your shed, okay? It's like where you start off doesn't define who you are. It defies what you're starting. And we all know when we start things, it's not pretty. Okay? And fuck those people who are entitled that mommy and daddy give all this money to, and their very first do-it-yourself project is $1 million project because mommy and daddy paid for it. Okay? And that's why it's like when Spirit says try not to compare yourself to other people, it's for a reason. Because other people, everybody's different. And if you didn't have entitled parents that, you know, and I'm not saying like entitled parents makes you an entitled brat. Entitled parents, you still could have been really smart, just given a lot of shit. Okay? It's not your fault how you're raised. Okay? So it's like, yeah, down the road might be the best, prettiest veterinarian clinic in the entire fucking world. It doesn't mean everybody can afford it. For one, it doesn't mean everybody wants to go there. Maybe it's pretentious. Maybe it has a bunch of fucking snobs working at it. And maybe not everybody wants to go there just because it looks nice on the outside. It's usually probably run by demonic entities, okay? So, which want it to look cookie cutter because it needs to look perfect. If it needs to look perfect, there's something wrong with it because nothing is perfect. And, you know, I was talking to my sister today because I don't know why. Oh, yeah. My sister works with this chick who got a kitten, and the kitten got sick right away. And it had like something wrong with an eye. And so like $150 later. And it reminded me of a lady I used to work with back in the day who lived in kind of, you know, a little bumfuck town. Okay. Like, I mean, it wasn't anything back then, but there was a vet there. And she said this vet would help, you know, like if say there was an eye problem or something, what he would do was he would give the clients a way to get that medication over the counter, you know, because a lot of things that are wrong with your pets, you know, eye infections and stuff, it's all the same. It doesn't have to be just for pets, right? So if it didn't have to be just for pets, he would be like, oh my gosh, okay. Like, yes, we have this 75 tube of bullshit, but you can also go to Shoppers Drug Mart and get a $10 tube, you know, if you want, and you don't have to spend so much money. And I was literally just telling my sister about that because we were talking about how much she paid, and I went, oh my God, like, she could have probably just went to Shoppers Drug Mart and got eye drops for the kitten and didn't have to go all the way to the vet and get some stupid vet bill of $150, you know? Like, because it's so sad because not everybody can pay that. Like, do you think the crackheads that live in the apartments below me take their dogs to the vet? No. Okay, they didn't get no shots. And these dogs have been around for years now. They ain't seen no vet. They didn't get no special pills or drops. They get an eye infection. They get whatever is around in the apartment. They don't get a $3,000 trip to the vet. Okay? So it's like, you know, maybe there could be things that are wrong with the apartment or wrong with the shop, well, you just fix them up. Make them look pretty. You know, my mom is really good at that. She would do things in my apartments and stuff that was shitty, and she'd make them look prettier. And she'd be like, you know, this is your space. Like, yes, you're in a basement, or yes, it's a, you know, shitty bathroom, but let's, you know, go to Michael's, the craft store, and get some things and make it look pretty so then you enjoy it while you're here, right? Because you have to live here or you have to work here. So enjoy your space. My father, on the other hand, would be like, well, you're just wasting your money because, you know, it's a rented space and who gives a fuck, right? There's people who are clueless and don't ever want to be comfortable in life. And there's people who know what uncomfortable is and try to make themselves comfortable so then they can enjoy what they have to do. Right? Wow, 1:30:30. That was a weird time to catch. I like it. So we're going to leave it out there, folks. I hope you enjoyed your stay. I swear, this reading was longer than the tattoo I got on the inside of my arm today. Look at this beautiful thing I got done. I drew this, by the way, but then somebody else put it on me. Oh, that's what I did today. It was the best day of my life. It was very stressful, but very, very fun. So manifest the shit out of anything you're trying to do. Okay? And be proud of it. And, you know, for your first shop or your first office, okay, like maybe there's a bunch of spiders or something. What are you talking about? Numith is the best stone. That you can tell in front of everyone that he's impotent. What is this? Danny, like I said, you should. Oh, it's a flower. It's this flower right here that I drew, but then somebody tattooed it on me. But it's like upside down. See? It's like it faces this way, and then there's the stem. I covered up that fucking signature that was there. That stupid fucking signature I had for 20 years. Gone. He was haunting me. I swear to God. When I got it done, my sister had this friend who thinks she's a mother. And she saw it and she was like, oh my God, you should just like do a whole Nirvana arm. Like just Nirvana this, Nirvana. And I was like, for one, it's Nirvana. And second, no. How about that? How about, no. And it's because she was trying to be the person who gets the idea for what I wanted. And I was like, I would never, like, do you think I'm a poser? Is that what you think I am? And does this say poser on my forehead? Like, no. I only got that I only got signature because I went and saw a psychic 20 years ago, and I had this huge fixation on dead people, obviously back in the day, and I could have sworn that Kurt Cobain was in my apartment, and I would say his name, and like shit would, like, I lived in this one house that was so haunted. I'd say his name, or I'd listen to Nirvana, and things would start falling in my house and shit. And so I went and saw this medium, and we do this whole reading, and then I was with a friend, which sucks because it didn't get on my recording because he recorded the sessions, and he does my friend's reading next. And then at the end of my friend's reading, he looked at me and he goes, I was wearing a long sleeve, like it was winter, and he goes, what's the name on the inside of your arm? And I go, inside of my arm? What the fuck? Because like I've got something on the inside of this one, right? And I was like, but you can't see my arms. And he goes, but is there something tattooed on the inside of your arm? And I was like, yeah, somebody's name is there. And he goes, well, he just wants you to know. Like, I mean, that's the only name I had on me back in the day. And he goes, well, he's stepping forward. He wants to speak to you. And he didn't know who it was. I didn't show him the name. So I was like, is this a joke? And it's all on this person's recording. And he was like, well, you know, he just wants you to let you know that, like, he, you know, travels around with you. Because I thought I saw him at work with me this one day. But I thought Kurt Cobain was still alive. Like, that's the whole theory that I thought. But back in the day, I knew he was dead. Because that's the thing, is like, maybe he is dead. I don't really fucking know. But I swore I saw him at work with me one day. So I was like, man, this guy's got to be obsessed with me. Like, I saw him everywhere, and that's just when I started seeing ghosts. So I got his name tattooed on me. I don't know why, but, like, he was, like, my first, I guess, ghost friend. If he is, in fact, dead. If he's not, then somebody's claiming to be him. But he stepped forward, and he even, like, the medium psychic was like, does he in a band? Does he play a musical instrument? Because he's like, it seems like he's standing on a stage, but he's very scared and frightened. Like, he doesn't want to step out. And I was like, you should have saw my friend's face, because, like, she knew who was tattooed there, but, like, this guy didn't know. So she was like, and the whole time I'm like, is this happening right now? I don't know. So that's my Kurt Cobain story. Like, I just remembered that. I totally forgot about that, to be honest, because she gave me the recording, but it was her reading. So she recorded it and then sent it to me on my phone. But then, like, obviously you lose it, you know, like, I lost the recording. And I tried to get her to send it to me a couple of years ago, and she didn't have it anymore. She lost it. I was like, you gotta be kidding. Like, did that? And I think I asked her, I'm like, was this all my imagination? Like, did that actually happen? And she's like, oh, I was there. It happened. And I'm like, okay. Like, so it's not one of those things that, like, I'm imagining happened and it really didn't. And she's like, I was there. And I'm like, okay, thank God. So that's my Kurt Cobain story. And now it's covered up for eternity. Never to be seen again, but it yet is always there. So it's never going away, but it's covered. Anyways, what a fucking day. Hope you all had a good day, because I had a good day, but I'm exhausted now. So I'm going to go to, I was going to say I'm going to go to bed. Yeah, right. It's like 7:30. Wow. Oh my God. I can go to bed soon. Okay, so I'm going to go. Thanks for being here with me the whole time, Danny, and talking to me this whole time. That's been great. You know, I love your life. You are the best person with him. He can travel. Well, he still might be here with me. I don't know. Like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. Sometimes I just hope for the best. And I just hope that I'm not getting fucked with, because you know that it sucks. So anyways, have a wonderful Wednesday, hump day. And tomorrow's Devil's Night. So maybe I'll do a reading at night. Ooh, spooky. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. But I'll be around tomorrow for Devil's Day readings, obviously. And, maybe I'll do something dedicated to Brandon Lee and the crow. As I look at my crow, maybe I'll do something with the crow tomorrow. Who knows? Oh my God, I love this energy shit. There's going to be a lot of readings coming out and some new shit. So be prepared, okay? Because Whitney kicks ass and she's coming back with a vengeance, okay? Yeah, well, you know that one time I did that reading for, like, Lane Stanley? We did that. We channeled his energy. Maybe we'll do Brandon Lee. You never know. Even though I think he's alive, living some private island with Bruce, but who knows, right? Who knows what they really do with those people? Right? Is Brandon just hanging out with Bruce somewhere? Or are they really in the ground? Because, like, their gravestones are together. It's really, like, cute. I think they're in the same cemetery as Kurt Cobain. supposedly Kurt Cobain. I'm pretty sure they're in the same cemetery. I tried to go to that cemetery in Seattle, but I didn't make it there. I stopped in California and turned around. Oregon was going to be this whole other thing. Oregon is beautiful. And like, oh my God. Anyways, I'm just going to start talking because that's what I do. So peace. Okay. Have a good day, like I said, and I will be around to do some greasy shit tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Another world called Fantasy Island. Just getting Botox surgery. Okay, I have to go. I have to go eat. I'm starving. Peace. See you tomorrow. Bye, Danny. Love you. And whoever else is here. See ya.